Hi, I'm Johan and welcome to the next video in our Objective-C tutorial series. In this video we're going to explore functions and methods in Objective-C. So, functions, just like in Swift, are actually fundamental building blocks that allow us to encapsulate code into reusable blocks of code. In Objective-C, functions are more similar to those in the C language, and they're used for modularity and reusability. So the basic structure of a function includes a return type, a function name, a parameter, and a function body. So, how can we declare this? So let's go to here. Let's actually get rid of all the code which we have written till now, so that we actually don't have like a massive thingy to write. So what we can do, above here, we're actually going to declare the function. So we're going to say int. So that's the initializer. We're going to say add. And we're going to say, let me see, int a, int b. And we're going to close this off with the semicolon. So what we have to do now, so we have here, we actually defined, or we actually declared the function, but now we actually have to define it. So under the int.main, we can actually say int add, and we're going to say int a, comma int b. Going to open this one up. In here, we're going to say return a plus b, semicolon. So how this works? First, we have to declare. Declare it, or we can actually also define it. It depends a little bit. So first you define it. After that you declare it, and after that you can actually use it. So inside the auto release pool, we're going to say int result is equal to add, and we can actually say 5,3, and now nslog, the semicolon, add a string, and we're actually gonna say the sum is, and this is gonna be result. So let's run this. And as you can see, the sum is 8. So as you can see, functions are actually really easy. It's actually pretty cool. So functions can also take multiple parameters and return values. So let's create a more complex function that calculates the average of 3 floating point numbers. So what we can do under here, so under the int add, we can actually say float calculate average. I'm gonna open this one up. Int a. No. We actually need float a, float b, float c, semicolon. So now we go to the bottom of the page, and we're actually going to define the function. So we're actually going to say float calculate average. There's going to be float a, float b, float c. Open this one up, and now we can say return, and we're going to say a plus b plus c divided by 3. Pretty cool. And now we can actually call that in here. So we can actually say float average is equal to calculate average. And let's see, we're going to do 4.5. And we're going to say 3.2. And we're going to say 5.7. Just like this. And now we can actually also use nslog. And we're going to say add the average is, and in this case we're actually going to do exclamation mark dot to f, and after that we're going to say average. Let's run this. Let's see what happens. And as you can see, the average is 4.47. So just to explain to you guys this one more time. So we actually declare the function. We actually have the return type, so that's the float. We have the name, and we have the parameters. After that, we actually define it by again the return type, the name, and the parameters, and after that we actually return a plus b plus c divided by 3. So, next to functions, we also have something that is called methods. And methods in Objective-C are actually similar to functions, but they are associated with classes and objects. Methods are defined inside class interfaces and in the implementations. So there are two types of methods. We have the instance method, and we actually have the class method. So let's get started with the instance method. So we're actually going to do a new file, so Command N, and we can actually take an Objective-C file. We're going to call this calculator. And we're also going to do a new file. We're going to take a header file. And this is going to be calculator. Perfect. Okay, so in here, we have the calculator.h and we have the calculator.m. So inside the calculator.h, so that's this one. Wait, I think I made a mistake. Oh, no, it's okay. So we can actually get rid of this. And what we can do, we can actually say import foundation / foundation.h. And now we can do add interface. So the interface, the class name is actually going to be calculator, and the superclass is going to be NSObject. And we actually don't need to open this one up. So we actually put everything between the interface and the end. So now we're actually going to declare our first instance method. So instance method, and we're going to do minus, open this one up. We're going to say int add number, double point. We're going to say int a to number. Let's actually make the n a capital, to number, and this is also going to be an int, and we're going to say b, semicolon. So, and the header file, so this is actually the declaration. So this is how we declare the function. Now we go to, let me think really quick. Now we go to the implementation file, so we go to the M, and in here, we're actually going to do import. And we're actually going to import calculator.h so that we can actually use it. And we're actually going to say add implementation. And this class is going to be the calculator. And the methods, we're going to do minus int add number. After this, we're actually going to open this one up. And in here, we can actually do return a plus b. And we're going to close this off with a semicolon. Now we can go back to main, and we can actually initialize it, so we can actually create an instance of it. Oh, let's actually do that under here. So we can actually create an instance by doing calculator. Oh, wait, I think we actually need to import it first. Let's actually go back here. I'm going to do import. We're actually going to import calculator.h. And now we can actually call calculator star calculator is equal to, then we're going to create two brackets. In the first one, we're going to say calculator, and we're going to say alloc. So when we use alloc, we actually reserves a little bit of the memory, and we actually make sure that the calculator is actually saved inside the memory. After that, we initialize it. And now we can actually play around with it. So we can say int result is equal to brackets. We're going to say calculator add number. So we're going to take a number of, let's say 5 to the number of 3. And now we can say nslog, and we're going to say add the sum is result. Oh, result, just like this. So what we did, oh, we actually redefined the result. Let's actually get rid of this one. We don't need it anyway. So what we did, we actually call the calculator. We assign a value to a calculator of calculator. After that, we actually allocate some memory to the calculator with using alloc. And after that, we actually initialize it. And after that, we can actually use it by calculating the result. So now we also have something that is called a class method. So class methods are defined similarly to an instance method, but they are actually called on the class itself. So we actually don't need to create an instance. So in this case, like what we did here, we actually create an instance of calculator, and after that we use the instance to start it, right? So to actually make a class method declaration, so inside the let me think. Inside here, so inside the calculator.h, instead of a minus, we're actually going to do plus int add number, double point, this is going to be int a to number, double point, int b. After this, we go actually to calculator domain. In here, we can actually say plus, let me see, int add number to number. We're going to open this one up and we're going to say return a plus b. So this is the biggest difference. To actually use this function, we actually need to create an instance in main, so that's this one. But if we want to use the other function, we actually don't need to do that. So what we can actually do inside here, we can actually say int new result. Oh wait, let's first, no, it's already important, so we don't need to do that. So let int new result is equal to calculator add numbers. We're going to say 10 and we're going to say 15. And we're going to end this with a semicolon. And now we can do nslog add, and we're going to do the sum is, and we're going to say new result. So for the people who actually are used to Swift, who actually know Swift, I think you already see what is happening here. So with this is a normal function when we return this to Swift. This is actually a static function, right? Because a static function you also don't initialize, you just call it using the parent class. So I think you already understand what's happening here. So let's go to replace. And as you can see, the sum is 25. So this was actually a really nice video because we talked about instance functions and we also talked about instance methods and also about the class methods. And when we actually translate this to Swift, this is an instance method. So that's actually like a normal function. So you actually call you actually initialize the class. And then you can actually call a function. But this, so the class method, is actually, you can actually compare this to a static func. Because a static func, you don't initialize the class, you actually just call the class and you actually call the function. So that's pretty cool. So in this video we covered functions and methods in Objective-C. We learned how to declare and define functions, pass parameters, return values, and the difference between functions and methods. We also explored instance methods and class methods in Objective-C. And in the next video, we're going to dive into object-oriented programming concepts. Hey, I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you learned something. If you have any questions, come to the comments below or come to the Discord channel, and I will be there to help you. See you later.